But I just switched tanks. We're on aux tanks now. Started the timer about 5 minutes ago. Those are down here. Really great setup. So the 402B, this one is equipped with the nacelle tanks in addition to the aux tanks. So that gives us about 40 more gallons worth of gas. So a little over an hour. So the nacelle tanks are right there behind the engine. You can see the flap. That's where the fuel filler is for it. And then you have the aux tank in the middle and tip tank. The tip tanks each hold 50 gallons, the aux tanks 20 gallons, and then you got the nacelle tanks. And then the unique thing about these tanks is that nacelle tanks feed the tip tanks with an electric pump. You set that up right here. You turn on this switch, and those two lights come on, and then they come on until the fuel is pumped out of the tank. So it pumps them to this. It actually gets pumped out to the tips. So since they've got 20 gallons each, what you got to do is wait till you burned off about an hour's worth of gas before you start pumping, because otherwise you just pump it overboard. What I like to do though with this airplane is I like to use the nacelles first on a cross country such as this, because if I have an electrical failure, they're not accessible. I can't use that fuel. So I'll start off, I burn about an hour and 45 out of the tip tanks just to be on the safe side. And then I turn on the nacelle tanks, and those will dump into the main. Make sure that the fuel's burning good, that there's no weirdness happening, because now I've got fuel that could potentially be contaminated. After that's all good, then I'll burn that for another hour plus, because then the aux tanks, you switch to those, they have 20 gallons each, but they get pumped out faster than the engine burns it, which means you end up essentially dumping fuel back into the tip tanks, the mains again, so you don't want to vent fuel overboard. That's a little bit of a fuel management scenario that I was really nervous about when I first started flying this bird, and it's second nature now. I mean, there's really nothing to it. It's pretty dang easy.